Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. In this video we're playing dress up again, swapping scopes around again, and this time it's my beautiful little HW30. Now this is like a puppy dog, it really is. It's a lovely thing to own, to shoot, to hold, to cock, to fire. Everything about this rifle is delightful. It's not very powerful. It's some people say it's a junior gun. I would argue with that. I would say it's a mid-size maybe. But so many of you love your HW30s, and please, if you love your HW30, leave a comment and tell us why below, because anybody who doesn't own an HW30, I would like you to read through the comments and have a serious think about getting one, because they are the gem, the secret. What's the words? It's just the hidden gem. It's not really hidden, it's there in plain sight, but once you've got one, oh wow. Apart from Alistair's having problems with his at the moment. Just had an email from him, and but we'll, you know, that's a naughty HW30. We've got to try and find out what's wrong with that. But anyway, most people are really happy with their HW30s. So I've got a scope on here. It is an RTI Optics 3-9x40. The reason I put that on there is my sister-in-law and her husband, between them, got me a knockdown duck target for Christmas. You know, the ones, a black box, and you've got the 4 little ducks and you shoot them down, the magnet holds them, hit the centre one, they all boing up again. So I put that in the front garden. Now our front garden's only 45 metres to the wall from the bench. So I thought that's the perfect distance for a little 2.2 HW30. And this has got the 2.2 barrel on it. It's running at 9 foot-pounds. And it's lovely. I thought, well, what a brilliant place to use that. So my eyes are old. I'm having to use reading glasses more and more now. Distance glasses more and more now. And I can't do the open sights at 45 metres. I struggled to do them at 45 inches. So I thought, well, I'll put a scope on it, and I put this scope on it. Before this scope, I had this scope on it, and this is like the Gamekeeper, the Optima Gamekeeper, but it isn't an Optima Gamekeeper. It's a cheap copy of one. It's not very good. It looks fantastic, and I'll probably put that on the BSA, I think, because it would look good on the BSA, and the BSA is a 25 cal, so that's only going to be used out to 25 metres anyway. So I think that's a good option to put on the BSA. What do you reckon? That on the BSA? Lightning. It is a little lightning. Yeah, I think that'll work. So anyway, that came off. This went on, and I was knocking down those stocks one after another, after another, after another. That's brilliant. But it's a bit of a nasty scope. So I'm going to put on a Hawk Air Max 2-7x32 instead, which is a much better scope, much better quality. This was on my HW97. I've taken it off of my HW97 and I fitted a bloody great 30mm tube scope onto that. I'm taking this little dinky one off, and I'm just going to put it on here, and that's what we're doing today. That's it. I'm just changing scopes around. I got a number of scopes from the gun shop because I was a bit short, but I got some good ones. So when I got back, it was like, well, I really want to have a swap around, you know, put this scope on there, that one from there onto this, and blah blah blah. And I brought 3 scopes home with me, and I've rehomed 2 of them already in other videos, and the third one is this EFR, the Nikon ProStaff EFR, which I'm thinking is going to go on my 17 HMR. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. You'll see. It'll be on an upcoming video. But, and also, because these videos won't come out for a couple of weeks, because I'm getting stuff ready for when I have the operation. I'm getting stuff made ahead of time, because I know I can't make videos after my surgery. I'm not allowed to move that arm for 4 weeks, you know, and I'm always waving my arms around, so it's going to be difficult. So I'm making stuff for the future, and that's kind of, some of these are for that. for that purpose. But there is a chance that by the time you see this, I've actually gone straight back down the gun shop there. You saw all those scopes, boxes and boxes of scopes. I might be back down there buying more yet. I don't know. There was some great stuff in there. There's some really good, you know, like Zeiss stuff and Swarovski. I always thought they made crystals, but you know, Schmidt and Bender. We're talking top high end stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's a lot of money, and they're expensive scopes. But I've never had a real proper, I mean, I've had Leopolds, and they're good, but I've never had a proper top-end scope, so I keep thinking, should I? Dare I? I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Now, putting this scope onto here, this has a low cheek piece, okay? The scope on that, the mounts on that one, it's a low mount. The mounts on this are low mounts. They need to be. What you want is when you put the scope onto the gun, you close your eyes, get comfortable with the gun, get into a comfortable position and open your eyes, and you should be looking straight down your scope. Now, funnily enough, I'm actually looking straight down the open sights. Actually, it's not, funny enough, that's probably by design, because this is designed, the comb on this stock is designed to be used with the open sights. So we want a small scope on low mounts. We don't want a bloody great massive ashtray thing on it. Apart from anything else, it will look silly. Right, what I'm going to do here, when I mount my scopes, there's a warning stamped on the back of the receiver of the gun here. It says, warning, do not swallow this gun or something. But either end of the warning, there's a triangle, a warning triangle, one at either end. I use the points of those triangles to locate my rear mount. Always have done, and I didn't really realise it until the last video, and I was doing it. I thought, oh, I'm doing that. So, top tip, if you put your rear mount between those two bits, you can see at a glance whether your scope's moving. Now, if you've got a TBT kit in your gun, chances are it's not anyway, because you'll have reduced the recoil. But that's a visual way of just looking to see if it is. There are two arrestor holes in the top of the receiver here, and there is an arrestor pin in this mount, but I've never found the need, well, certainly since I was young and I used to put ox springs in things. Back then I needed them, but nowadays I simply don't need the arrestor pins. So that goes there, located into that part there. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Now, what we want to do is have a little look down here and see if the eye relief is right. Okay, and I'm going to turn that down to its minimum magnification of 2. Minimum mag, and I'm going to turn the parallax down to as close as I can get it. Just because I'm inside and I'm looking at the wall. There, 7.5. Wow, right down to 7.5 meters. So there, that's fortuitous. Okay, because the eye relief, which is the distance between my eye and the scope, is bob on for where I want to be to get comfortable. So you close your eyes, get comfortable, open your eyes. If you find yourself having to move like that to see through the scope is in the wrong place. Move your scope, not your head. That is the way it should be. Also, you need to check to make sure the reticule is perfectly level. I've said it on the other videos. I'm going to say it on this one because it may just be that somebody only watches this one because they're going to put a scope on their HW30, and I do believe this is the perfect scope for this gun. When you mount your scope onto your gun, any gun, you need to make sure that your reticule is perfectly in line, perfectly level compared to the gun. Okay, decent scope mounts will put the crosshair, the center of your crosshair, exactly over the bore of your barrel. Okay, but if your crosshairs are like that, what it means is This side, it's shooting to the left, and further than your 0 point, it's shooting to your right. So if it's too close, it's basically you're going to be shooting across the scope, which means you won't be able to get your accuracy. They'll be going all over the place. But what some people do, and I've seen people do it, and sometimes you'll look through a scope at a club or something and somebody's done it, they will put the scope reticule relative to how they shoot. So if they hold the gun, it's exaggerated for the purposes of the video, but if they hold a gun like that, they've got the crosshairs so they're level to them holding it here. That will never work. Okay, it needs to be there. And if when you've put your crosshairs level, you shoulder your gun, look at the horizon and see your crosshairs aren't level, that means you have to adjust your shooting stance, not the scope. Top tip for accuracy there. So that's it. We've got our scope on here, we've got the correct eye relief, and we've got it leveled. The last thing to do, now I don't have to tighten this because I didn't have to loosen it because these are pretty much bob on. When I get outside into the open air, natural light onto the shooting bench, I can do any fine tuning of the cans of the scope. But when you're tightening down the saddle on the top, start at one place and you just go around in a clockwise direction like that, or anti-clockwise, doesn't matter which it is, just a small amount each time. Go around a couple of times so everything's nipped down. You don't have to yank on it, just using the small end of the Allen key is sufficient, and that is it. That is now my HW30 ready for some proper shooting when the weather and my shoulder allows. I'm going to go and have a hunt around to see what scope I'm going to put on what next. Like, subscribe, hit notifications, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you, goodbye.